Welcome everybody to 1 hour of miniature goodness. I started the stream a little bit earlier because I can see everybody's doing the choo-choo train. So welcome and a brand new year to, and happy new year, brand new year, happy new year to every single one of you. Let me quickly say hello to everybody in chat so far. I did see Gareth in there, Scorpius in there, Bull GM, Ty's in the house, Michelle, hello Michelle, Painterly Git, Rod, hello Rod, loads of love to you Rod, Stuart's in the house, and Mr. Hammer's in the house. Awesome stuff, absolutely. I've had such a long time off. I feel like I've been away for years. It's only been like 3 weeks, so it's really nice to get back into painting. I'm really excited today to start painting again. Now before the show I quickly put some primer onto all my female Minotaurs. So what we're going to be doing today is just quickly speed painting a few of these. So let me get some focus and we can see what we're doing. This is the female Minotaur. Now this miniature will be going into all the and Michelle is the boss. So this miniature will be going to all the hoarder tiers, and it will be going to all the bones collectors, Reaper bones collectors tiers. Now as you can see, it's a beautiful miniature, and it's very nice that Reaper do the some more female miniatures. Now if Reaper are watching, which now and again they do, we need goblins, more female goblins would be very nice. This Minotaur was sculpted by Jason Weeby, by the way. Okay, now for colour schemes for today, browns again, dark colours. I'm going to be using some reds on this Minotaur. Now I thought red would be good to use on the Minotaur, as it'll be like a combat boost. So if the Minotaur is always wearing red, it's going to be pissed off 24/7 and ready to kick ass. so I thought the little skulls and things would be in red on this Minotaur. Now we're going to go with some shield brown for the skin, and we got some suntan flesh as well, and we're just going to dry brush those onto the highest areas. And of course we are going to do the skin first on this Minotaur, and then we'll work on to the other colours. Now for the metals for this miniature, there's a lot of metal on this miniature. We shall be using gunmetal by Army Painter. I'm finding that the gunmetal, because it's a much more darker hue on the metal, it works better, especially when you want darker colours. So if I'm going to be using some ink wash, of course we can use some Agrax Earthshade. That'll be covered over the whole of the miniature, and that'll give it that nice dirty grimy dungeon feel to the actual beastie. So I'm going to get some paint on my palette and we shall make a start. It is absolutely lovely to see every single one of you in chat. Let's hope this year is a little bit better than the last one. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Yeah, amen to that, Rod. Okay, so we've got some paint on the palette. Now I'm just going to be using a small dry brush by Army Painter for this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of 10 of these minis, and we'll work on 10 to start with, because there's no way I'm going to get them all done in an hour. But today is me getting back into painting, chatting to you guys, and just having a bit of a blast, because I have to be honest with you, I was so nervous before the show. Because I haven't been on the show for such a long time now, well 3 weeks, of course my nerves aren't the best, so I get a bit freaked out about everything. So what we'll do, we'll get this here, get this in focus, get it in the size there, and we're just going to the darkest first, the darkest colour, the darkest brown, the shield brown. Get it onto the old paintbrush there, and as you can see there's quite a bit of fur on here, so we're just going to go quickly over, just highlighting that fur. Nice and easy, and it's done. Absolutely awesome, very quick, nice easy paint. There's a little bit of fur around the hoofs there, so just a little bit going over there, over there. Just a quick dry brush just to highlight the fur areas of this miniature. A little bit more top there. Once it dries, it does actually change colour, and that's why we're using the suntan as well. So there's not much actually on this one. Now we tried to get the skin a little bit now on the nose there, a little bit on the nose. Oh, let me get it in focus. There we go. And a tiny bit just on the fingertips there. Now I say this all the time, and I do like to remind people who are new to the channel. My painting is for tabletop gaming, and all my miniatures are painted to a tabletop standard, in my personal opinion of what a tabletop standard should be like. If Reaper Miniatures do some absolutely fantastic shows, and there's some fantastic painters. If you go and watch Reaper Miniatures, they're doing their streams, and they got the pro painters, and if you really want to go above and beyond what I'm doing, it's definitely worth following Reaper Miniatures and watching all the amazing painters and sculptors that they have on their Twitch channel. So I'm just quickly going over the fur areas first, and it doesn't take long. Just this brown that I've used, and of course this is my favourite brown. This is the wood stain brown that I've used for the primer coat. I use that for all the miniatures, of course. And what it is, because you've got that lovely dark brown, it really works super well when you're painting your miniature, because you've got that lovely dark effect, and especially when you're doing like a Minotaur or beasts of any kind, that brown's going to work in your favour, full stop. And it doesn't take long before you've got an absolutely fantastic looking miniature, before you've even started painting. It's finished. It's finished. Now, one good thing is I'm still able to talk and paint, and I do relax very quickly as soon as I get into my painting mojo. As Gareth in chat will know, once you get into the painting mojo, all my nervousness kind of disappears. It evaporates because I get into my zone and I enjoy what I do. I've been looking forward to coming back painting for quite some time. In fact, I think the first week I had my vacation, I was saying to Scorpler, can I go and paint a mini? Can I paint a mini? No. It's family time. It's holiday time. Can I paint a mini? Is Tal in the house? Oh, good. I've been thinking about you, Tal. I'm glad you had my first negative test. Awesome stuff. Yes, good. I've been getting so scared because of you, Tal. I've been too. It's just a horrible thing to have COVID. So I've been quite worried about you, and me being worried is by being a pussy and not chatting to you. So I do apologise. But I get scared because you're my friend, and I don't want anything to happen to my friends. So yeah, it's upsetting times. Many of us have lost friends in the last year, and yeah, so you can understand why I've been a bit quiet. Scares the life out of me. I've had all my COVID jabs, but we won't talk about COVID anyway. But let's talk about mini painting, eh? Let's get back to the mini painting. So we've got 5 of these done here. As you can see, I'm just adding on the fur now. This is the first highlight to the fur and the face, and a little tiny bit on the nose there, just the top of the nose, did I see Mokai? Yes, hello Mokai. How's my Mokai? Are you looking forward to our next Dungeons and Dragons game? Now, the next Dungeons and Dragons game, because of issues with a few of us, we've had going through rough patches. We are taking a break until everybody in the party is ready to come back and play with us. I think we all know how life changes. So there will be a time when we get back into the game. It's just making sure that everybody's okay and ready to play. Okay, so what we'll do, we'll stick with the 5 because the time is actually flying by. And what we're going to do now is I'm going into that suntan brown. I'll just take the paint off my brush here. Hello, Renegade Shank. How's my Renegade Shank? Are you ready for some one-to-one painting, Renegade Shank? Get your 40k miniatures painted. Okay, what I'm just doing now is I'm highlighting just the highest areas now of the fur with this suntan brown. Absolutely beautiful, beautiful little colour there. So now what we're doing is we're just highlighting these areas. Now we don't have to go crazy, we don't have to go into superb detail. What we're trying to do is build up a highlighted area. Now what happens then is once we've added that ink wash, the ink wash is going to do all the work for us, because what will happen is that ink wash will bring out all the shades and all the colors and it will blend everything in. So what we're trying to do here is we are working our colors in the areas we want highlighted by that ink wash. Now this fur will come out and pop once that brown ink wash is added. So that's all we need to do to the face and the fur. It's simple as that, and you'll see what I mean when we add that ink wash later on, if we get to that stage. I keep moving up. It's a shame there's not a shout button. So if I start moving out of the screen, you can press a button and say, "Mikey, you're moving out of screen." So maybe I can work out something where you can press a button just to give me a little heads up if there's something in chat you want me to see. Oh, there is there? Well, maybe we should do that. Maybe we should add a button that if I'm going off screen, then you can press the button and that'll warn me. And also, if there's a message that you want me to read in chat, then you can press a little button and go, "Oi, look at chat, Mikey." So there's a few things we could do to add to the channel, just so I'm more, have more attention of what's going on. Yes, like on your stream. But what I'm saying, Gareth, is to actually give me a heads up that, like, see, like I'm going like this now. It's just to give me to help me keep everything on screen here. But yes, very much like your screen. Except I don't really want everybody shouting, "I'm moist." "I'm moist." "Mikey, I'm moist." Yeah, Claire comes in and slaps me. Thanks, Tal. You can tell Tal's getting better, can't you? So Mokai is the boss. That didn't take long. Thank you very much, Mokai, for supporting the channel and becoming the boss. That's very, very kind of you. What's cool about the miniature painting, and this is something that you've all got to take into consideration when you're painting your miniatures. You're not don't expect amazing things to begin with. Don't expect to be absolutely amazing at miniature painting. It does take a long time, but also see, like what I'm doing here with the Minotaur. At the moment, you know, I've got my browns on. I've got 3 different types of brown on this miniature so far, and it just looks plain and simple what I've done so far. But don't be put off by that, because I've actually got a plan in my head, and I know exactly how this is going to look when it's finished, and that's from experience in painting. I know when I add the brown ink wash later on, it will transform this mini, and it will absolutely look fantastic. So if you are painting your miniatures, and for example you're thinking, oh my god, it's looking awful, persevere with that miniature, add that ink wash, see how it turns out before you give up and chuck the miniature at the walls, because you can be quite surprised, especially when you're painting for tabletop gaming. The ink wash is your best weapon. An ink wash is your best weapon, and by using that ink wash, it does transform, and it can hide a lot of mistakes as well. So it's really, really important that you keep on painting, and you'll actually be amazed at some of the miniatures you can paint with minimal effort. Okay, so what we're doing, we're working on these little 5 for now, because time will tick on. But what we'll do here is we'll start painting in the gory red. Now we're going for all the darkest colours so far. This is my gory red, which is a nice dark colour, and we'll add that to all the cloth areas on the front and the back. Now, like I say, I want to keep it red because being a Minotaur, I want it to be enraged all the time. It kind of gives it an attack bonus by wearing red. You could actually say that your Minotaur will have an attack bonus because it's constantly enraged. So that could actually work in your D&D games quite well, if you wanted to have red tunics for your Minotaurs. Talon's like, ooh. Okay, I'm using a number 2 brush because it's just quite a big area to paint. And we'll start off with the bum area, and we'll just add this on here. And like I say, the whole miniature will be given a brown ink wash. That will tone down everything, and everything will nicely blend in together. So we're just going over all the tunic here. Now, like I said before, with that ink wash, we add the ink wash, and I actually add ink wash and then I take the ink wash away. So it's just a tiny bit of red here, and just going around, and that's all we need for this miniature here. We've just got that one area which is red. The rest of the miniature is all going to be in the bulk gun metal. So we'll just quickly paint the rest of these little tunics. Now, as you can see, by speed painting your miniatures as well, you can easily get a whole unit done within a day. These Minotaurs, if I started these Minotaurs this morning, they would have all been finished easily by this afternoon. Now, what I find is the drying time is the longest. Now, of course, we have to do the base as well. The base is going to be just strong gravel. It's going to be quite a coarse gravel because there's quite a lip on this Minotaur. As you can see, we've got about a good 2 to 3 millimeter gap going around. Now, what you can do as well, you can actually, because it's a bones plastic, it's very simple to actually just cut these areas off. You can actually use a crafting knife, and you can easily take away the base from the miniature, and then you can replace it onto these round bases. Now, of course, this is a 2-inch base boss base from Reapermini. Again, these are my favourite bases that I use, and I use them on all my miniatures. Absolutely fantastic stuff. And okay, we'll just do 3 more of these capes here, and then we'll move on to the next stage, and we'll add the bolt gun metal. I hope everybody had a lovely Christmas and you got all the prezzies you wanted. Now, this was the first year I didn't ask for miniatures from Scorpler. So I didn't get any miniatures from Scorpler for Christmas, but I did have quite a few different D&D miniatures from you guys. So thank you so much for sending me the Christmas gifts. It was absolutely beautiful. Very much appreciated. And it's absolutely amazing the support I get from you all. What's really nice about the Minotaur is you've got lots of browns and dark colours. Just this one little tunic here, just this one little red tunic on the front here, it just gives a tiny bit of colour to the miniature, and that's all you need to have that miniature start to stand out. It's just enough. Well, I'm definitely feeling better now. Yeah, it's very difficult to stream. If anybody's tried streaming, you'll know how nerve-wracking it can be when you first go on. I've always been a bit of a nervous Nelly in front of people. A lot of people say, "Oh, you look, you don't show it," but I'm good at hiding my feelings. The show must go on. The show must go on. Oh, Tal. Oh, if none of you know, most of you probably do know because most of you are my goblins. On Fridays now, I'm starting a brand new Twitch show. Again, it'll just be an hour, nothing more. Anything longer than an hour is a bit too much for me. So the new Twitch show will be on 8 o'clock on Fridays, and it will be all Lord of the Rings from Games Workshop. I've been collecting the Lord of the Rings miniatures and painting the Lord of the Rings strategy battle game miniatures since the beginning, when they first came out. I used to get the fortnightly magazine. Are you clubbing seals again, Tal? You're collecting slippers again. At my age. Yes. Anyway, on Fridays we'll be doing the Lord of the Rings stuff. Now I have so many out of production Lord of the Rings miniatures, so it's going to be a great show, which I'm really looking forward to, because the Lord of the Rings miniatures is my favourite collection of miniatures. And 90% of all the miniatures from the Lord of the Rings line is all metal as well. I'll give you an example. You've got one of the trolls here. This is a Mordor troll. Absolutely beautiful. So we got hundreds and hundreds of Lord of the Rings miniatures to get painted and done, and I've been painting these since the beginning of time, so they are my favourites. Of course, Reaper Miniatures, of course, is my favourite company. So if any Reaper fans out there looking at me going, no, not Games Workshop, it's not because of I don't love Reaper. It's just Lord of the Rings is definitely a huge part of my life, even before they released the miniatures. I've even got miniatures from the first 1980s metal miniatures from Grenadier, I think that's the name of the company. I've got some originals from there. Let me see, I think I got I did have an original metal Balrog somewhere. It's disappeared. Anyway, that's fine. Anyway, I'll get back to this. I'm getting excited because I want to show you all my stuff, but that's for Friday. That's for Friday. You gotta wait. Okay, let's get some gunmetal on our minis. Grenadier, that's the one. What I'll do is I shall get hold of all my old, very first metal Lord of the Rings miniatures, and I'll show you all Ty so you can enjoy them. There's quite a few different companies actually made Lord of the Rings miniatures before Games Workshop actually jumped on the bandwagon and got the official rights to it all. But Games Workshop definitely did a fantastic job of making the miniatures for the films. They are absolutely fantastic. Okay, so we are going for gunmetal now. So this is just going over all the metal areas. Nice, fast and simple. And it just makes a huge difference. Now, again, I'll explain why I'm using the gunmetal. And it's because I've tried using the silver, the mithril silvers and the colours like that. They're just too bright. They're much too bright. So what I'd like to do is use a gunmetal as my base coat for any metal areas. So we just quickly go over all the metal area with our gunmetal, especially on beasts. And what happens then is we can add a nice coating of our Agrax Earthshade because we're going for that dirty look. And then all we do is that's when we bring out the ordinary silver, and then we just edge the metal with a nice bright silver, so it gives a much better chipped effect or worn effect to your metal armor and your miniatures. I see, and we just added 3 colours now to this, and already the Minotaur is coming to life just by adding these 3 colours. It's absolutely fantastic. It's so important to pick the right colours for your miniature, and once again, by picking the right colours that work with the miniature, it gives you less work as well, because you don't need to emphasise parts of the miniature so much. It all works and blends in and works with the rest of the miniature, like the browns are working in with the dark metal. It's a very simple thing to do once you've worked it out. I like to keep all my miniatures dark and gruesome, and I think that's probably going back again to my Lord of the Rings painting, because again with Lord of the Rings you have that dark earthly feels, the dark earthly tones to all your miniatures. You're not going for bright Eldar colours. We're keeping it dark like so, and as you can see, just by adding that armour, it's transformed that miniature already, and we've only done a few different things to that mini. Okay. Now we can quickly go across these like so, using the tip of our brush, and we just edge the plastic there, and that leaves all the details shown on the sword sheath. I'm trying to find my words. Sheath. So we're just using the side of the brush, and we just went down, and it's all done. Okay, so back onto this. Again, we're starting with the metal areas. Now, if we've got time, we should be able to add one quick wash of the brown ink wash, just so I can show you what I mean. It's very warm in my workshop today, so everything is drying very fast. And remember, you can always touch up and spend as much time as you want on your miniatures. Like I say, I'm batch painting lots of miniatures at the same time. So what will happen is I will paint all the miniatures, and then once I've finished the basic paint of all the miniatures, I will go back over each miniature just to check on any places that I've missed, or any places that I might have gone over with my paint or made a bit of a mess, and I can reapply the paint and touch up anywhere that I feel is necessary on my miniatures. I've got that paint as well. I'm not going to use it. I'm going to just frame it in a little box, and it's my special nipple pink. It's a legit colour, yeah, I've got it. It's a real colour. It's a real colour towel. See, one of my favourite names is Maggot White. That's one of my favourite names, Maggot White. I mean, of course, you got the Goblin Green. That's always a classic. Bleached Bone. What's your favourite names for paints, Gareth? You know a lot of paints. What's your favourite name for one of your paints? Red. Oh my goodness me. Red Rocket Red. Purple Nurples. Okay, well, this year we shall be giving away the free miniatures like last year. So if you want to have a free miniature every time I do a stream, all my patrons that are on a painted tier, they get there's a draw for a miniature. It's just a miniature that I put into your box. It can be painted, it cannot be painted. It's just a miniature that's added to your box as a free gift. So if anybody wants a free miniature added to their box, shout out in chat, give me a free mini right now, and Claire will add. Oh bollocks. No, Shank, your thing just fell in my paint. No. No. Oh, look. Shank brought me this lovely Cookie Monster badge. It says, sometimes me think, what is friend? And then me say, friend is someone to share the last cookie with. Cookie Monster. It's alright, the paint's come off. It's safe. It's safe. It's safe. There we go. All the crumbs are off. I had it stuck to my lamppost there. There we go. He's safe. There we are. Okay, where were we? Yeah, cookies. I'll have the free cookies. This Friday, Rod, I shall probably paint the new Treebeard miniature from Lord of the Rings. But what I'll do is I shall build the miniature first before I do the show. So the show will be just the painting of the miniature, because the sticking together will just make me scream and swear on John, and I'll stick my fingers together. I don't want to stick my fingers together. Now I've got the original Treebeard as well, and I've got all the original packaging. So what I'll do is on Friday we shall take a look at the original Treebeard, and we shall have a look at the brand new Treebeard from Games Workshop, and we'll get that painted up on stream, which will be absolutely awesome and a nice start to a brand new stream. So if Rod, you are going to paint your Treebeard in the hour with me, then that's going to be awesome. Or at least paint a couple of branches anyway. The tree won't be difficult to paint, but of course Merry and Pippin will be a little bit more difficult and tricky to do. Now the Lord of the Rings miniatures, believe it or not, are actually one of the hardest types of miniatures you could possibly paint, and the reason why I say that is because they are true 28mm miniatures. For example, this is Bilbo Baggins here. This is original Bilbo Baggins next to the Minotaur. They're much smaller than miniatures than what Reaper do for the detail. So you really need to get nice in with the miniature. I'm reading chat. I'm reading chat. It's making me laugh. One leaf will be fine. Okay, let's carry on. I don't know what the time is. How are we doing for time? We're doing all right. Okay, so we're just getting these axes done. Just added a little bit of. Once I get the last axe on, this first one should be dry, and then we can add that brown ink wash, and you'll see exactly what I mean when I say the ink wash transforms everything. It's a fantastic thing. Like I say, what I try to do on my shows is I'll show you my way of painting. Everybody paints different. You don't have to copy everything I do. All I try to do is give you a little bit of inspiration to paint your miniatures, and just have a bit of fun. end of the day, I no, we wouldn't do this if it wasn't fun. This is my hobby as well as my living, and this is why when Scorpio tells me to have my holidays, the first thing I want to do on holiday is paint my minis. So it's almost reversed. It's almost reversed. Mikey having a holiday is like going to work. And Mike going to work is like having a holiday. How's that for an ultimate job, eh? I mean, I never dreamed 20 years ago or 30 years ago I'd be painting miniatures full time. Absolutely unbelievable. And like I say, if I can do it, anybody can do it. And I'm just so happy I'm able to do something I love. It's just amazing, absolutely amazing. And of course, I wouldn't be doing it without all your support. I was thinking, Rod, if Gareth was talking about maybe one day coming over to visit Mordor, maybe you should think about coming over as well, Rod, if you ever feel like coming to Scotland. We could all have a game in the house, a little painting session. You could try all the Scottish food. It might give you something to look forward to in the future. Okay, so we shall now move on to a little brown ink wash. Painterly Git, thank you so much. That's really made me happy. Really made me happy. It's been a very hard year for quite a few of us at Goblins, it's nice to be appreciated. Thank you so much for saying that. Well, the trouble with the haggis is catching them. They scuttle around the mountains, and you gotta run after them. Yeah. Oh, the fishing rod. Oh, I got spare fly rods. I got spare normal rods. If anybody ever came to Scotland and they were a fisherman, you would be in for a treat, an absolute treat. Scotland, I mean, I'm not trying to brag about the fishing, but it is absolutely the best. Absolutely the best. Yeah, when you see all the baby haggis. Okay, so far we have got the armour. We got all the hair colouring and the nose. We got all the metal on. We got our red on. And as you can see, just from a basic brown start, I've only got 4 different colours on here now. And it's already looking fantastic. So what we do now is we add this brown ink wash. Now, the trouble now is it probably won't have enough time for the ink wash to dry before we move on to the next stage. But I just wanted to show you this. So I'm going to find an old brush. Here we go. Now, what I do with my ink wash is I add and then take away, because I don't like it too much on my miniature. Now, this is already dry, which is great. Let's get that in focus. Now, what we're doing with the ink wash is we're applying it quite heavy to the whole of the miniature just letting it go into all where the fur is, and you instantly get all the highlights on the fur, on the leather armor, the metal armor. Now I have to be quick with this piece here, so we're adding it to the whole of the miniature. And what we're going to do is we're going to start removing this ink wash, and we're using the ink wash as a shade, of course, but we can use it to our advantage. Now let's get this paint on, this ink wash on, sorry. Just cover the whole miniature, letting it go into all the recesses. Now what we do is we just give my brush a wash, and we got my little cotton buds. So we've got these little cotton buds here, and this is where the magic starts. We can start taking away the ink wash in parts. We can edge the front of the axe. There we are, take away the ink wash on the top. Go on the side, making sure there's no pooling. Pooling is the worst thing with an ink wash and can ruin your miniature, so always make sure you get rid of the biggest pooling areas. And again, with the armor, we can just go on the highest areas and just remove the ink wash, and it leaves a nice shine. So we're just over the top highest areas of the armor, top of here, on the back there, on the bracelet there, making sure you get rid of all the, you don't want any pooling, because that's what can ruin a nice ink wash. Is once it pools, you have to keep an eye for pooling, because what happens is it will go into the recesses of the miniature, pool into a big brown blob, and nobody wants that. Of course it can happen, we all make mistakes, but if you keep control of the ink, it can really work for you. So there we are. This is our miniature with the ink wash added, and what a difference it makes just by adding that ink wash. I mean, once that's dry, it'll be absolutely fantastic. Now once that's dry, of course, we shall add a lighter red to the tunic there. We shall go over the edges of all the metal areas along the edges here with silver, and that will bring out all the edges. Of course, we shall add some white for the eyes and a little dot of black, and again on the front we shall edge the front of the metal with silver, and we shall add a lighter red to the tunic at the front, and then of course we'll add some PVA glue. We'll add some PVA glue to all the base, and we'll add some gravel. Okay, so what we'll do is I shall do a couple more of these ones, and we shall call it a night. So again, all I'm doing is adding the ink wash over the whole of the miniature. But as you can see, it's a very, very simple way of doing a speed paint, and having a very, very nice miniature. But of course, you can go one step further and add more and more and more. And of course, I will be sending all these out to my patrons, and of course, I will be adding all the extra details before they're sent. Of course, all the basing will be done, all the highlights will be finished, eyes will be added, and all the little edging will be added to these miniatures. Thank you for following. And it's a very what I'm trying to do on each of one of my shows is just, like I say, show you roughly what I get up to. If you learn anything from one of my shows, I do try to make all my shows really for the beginner to the medium painter. Like I say, I go up to a tabletop standard. I don't go any further. A lot of people say my painting is better than tabletop standard in certain cases, but I like to say I'm a tabletop standard painter, because then I I don't get any hassle. But yeah, Minotaur. This is the female Minotaur. And like I say, if Reaper are watching, they probably will watch the rerun of this episode. We need more female miniatures. Now, what female miniatures would you like from Reaper? I personally want more goblins. Orcs, they have got a couple of female orcs. But it's mainly the beasties. They have got quite a few female dwarfs. I think it's a difficult one, to be honest, but they do need more female monster characters because most of them are male, and being the goblin as I am, I want to have a whole little village of goblins and goblinettes running around. Lots of tiny little goblins. Baby goblins would be nice. Little baby goblins running around. Did you just say female skellies? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Them hips, yeah. Just add wings. Actually, you could actually do. In all honesty, you could actually do female skellies by adding a female breastplate to the miniature. So you could actually get away with that. Plus, you could add long white hair to the skeleton warrior. So that could actually work. You could actually get female skelly. Yes, but you try counting the ribs on a 28mm miniature. You can just imagine Tal. I'm gonna count the ribs. You got more chance of your little dog eating the skelly. Okay, we're just coming up to the end of the show now, so I just wanted to finish off these little bits of ink washes on these miniatures. I will be back on Thursday, and on Thursday we shall be painting a WizKids miniature, or I might be doing a Reaper miniature. It'll depends on how much work I've got, because what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to paint the miniatures that are for my patrons on the show, because I need to get my work done. So if I can actually show you what I'm painting and get some of my work done at the same time, then that's a Brucey bonus for me and you. Okay, like I say, we're just removing the excess ink wash, but as you can see, where we've done the two tones with the fur, because we've added that brown ink wash, it's gone to the deep recesses and it's pushed out that fur now, and once that's dry it will really look absolutely fab. And of course we're using the brown ink wash because we want that rustic, dirty look to the Minotaur. She's a dirty girl. Okay, last one, and then I am off and take my little puppy for a walk. Oh, talking of crazy things, before the show, has anybody ever had a cat that's a possessed cat? Because my cat Lily, before the show tonight, she was no word of a lie, right? My cat Lily, right? She's about 10 years old. She projectile vomited all over my printer. She meowed and then puked. And it went everywhere. It was just crazy. Hello, Crypt Monkey Studios. I mean, Lily isn't prone for being sick, so we tried to feed her special food and all the things, but we couldn't believe it. She was sitting in between. She was sitting in between Scorpio and myself. Next minute, she's like, and then like the poltergeist, it just shot out of her mouth. It went everywhere. But it's just mental. It was absolutely mental. And then of course Claire and myself were trying to clean up the sick. The cat's going Scorpla's going and I'm like oh my god, it's awful. It's goddamn awful. Oh, I love my cat so much. Honestly. Projectile cat vomit. Unbelievable. Well, there we are. This is our little female Minotaurs for tonight. Now, what I shall do is I shall finish off the bases, of course, and I'll finish off the miniatures and add a few more things. And then what I'll do is I shall post these up on Twitter tomorrow, so you can all see the finished pictures. And of course, I shall do a 360, and they shall be added to the YouTube videos, and added to Patreon. So you can all see the finished effect and any added extras needed. So I will say goodnight to each and every one of you. Thank you so much for popping on and seeing me. Thank you so much for supporting me all the way through 2001 and into 2022. And again, let's hope this is a better year for all of us. And love you all so much. And you take care, and I shall see you in the next show. So good night, everybody.